Good evening, everyone. I am happy to be here to really solve some of your problems. Friends, my name is Rajendra Bhatia, representing Creative Edge for top rankers here. As far as your NATA exams are concerned, coming up is the third attempt on 7th of August. Friends, there are different kinds of questions in NATA, like finding the principles of design in an artwork, identifying a monument through its picture or blueprint, finding the principles of architecture used in a building, and many more of such kind. However, one of the most important area that NATA has been pursuing is asking questions on illusion in images. That too in a stipulated time, say 30 seconds, and then they change the slide. What to expect among 30-second question in NATA? I am taking up some of the example, and with that I will try to put a few things with you. I may be using this image to explain you for a longer period, but remember, such type of question only 30 seconds and the image is removed. Let us try working it together. Friends, look at this image and try to find out something odd in it or something even in it. How do you read it? And then I will tell you with example as to how to read it. Let us try it out. Look at this image and try to find out what odd you look at. Find one mistake in the image. Then they give you some time, maybe few seconds, to write down your. Now if there is only one mistake to be brought in, they hardly give you 15 to 20 seconds to answer that. That means you should be pre-prepared with the answer of the image and whatever you have noted down. Firstly, let me show you the answer and then we will go back to the question. The answer to the question: while the loyal dog leaves paw prints in the snow, his human companion does not. Anyone who lives in a snowy weather knows that footprints are inevitable. Coming back to the picture. How do you read it? Do you visually make any division? There is no grid given. Or do you check element wise? You have to look into this wooden collection, look into the coat or the trouser, look into the animal, look into the snow, look into the snow on top of the trees, the bushes, and look into the, oh, I find one more difference. If there was snow here, there is no snow here, isn't it? So there were two differences actually. One was to be pointed out. But what is more obvious? The footprint of paw, whereas no footprints of the human. However, to really solve it, do not go element wise, it will take you longer time. Divide the space into visual couple of grids. Easiest is to divide it into 4 parts. Later on I will explain you to divide the picture into many parts. Visually 4 parts can be read very easily. 1, maybe 10 seconds, 2, another 10 seconds, and 3, another 10 seconds. Or if you have done it 2 small one, 5 seconds, another 5 second, 5 second. And then you can notice this more, there are better chances of noticing this mistake than hanging on to red coat or the brown trouser or hanging on to the wooden planks like that. We will have more questions to understand what I mean to say by the visual division of the space. Now start observing it for 30 seconds only, and then we will discuss. Divide it into 4 visual parts. You got top of the tree, hardly anything to be noticed. Lower part, yes, everything to be noticed. He is cutting, oh, he is cutting it with. So you have already noticed. Then don't leave these parts. Notice anything wrong here? No snow? Oh, that's not the question at all. This is not the snow time at all. So you were looking for snow because you were still engrossed into the earlier picture, image. Having done it for 30 seconds, find one mistake in the image. What did you notice with the image? Didn't you notice that the axe was not used? Instead, pickaxe. That means what we know in Hindi, the geti, fawda and that kind of a thing was used into cutting the tree. Not possible. So the man is attempting to chop down a tree with the help of pickaxe instead of a saw or an axe. Pickaxe are used for digging holes and chopping through rocks, not very helpful for cutting wood. So that was the basic mistake. Let's look into some more. Now here is something that troubles you more. Friends, here I have brought in this grid system for you. Observe the given image for 30 seconds and find which one is different. Select the answer with defining the axis. Now this axis I added up. When I took it from NET, there was no axis given, like x-axis and y-axis. Again, my formula for this visual division into 2 parts and into 4 parts. It's easier to reach it. Or take up column wise. Column wise may take you longer time. If you are lucky, you will be able to see the images or you catch it here. So that becomes a 30-second visual division into grid and taking one portion at a time. Devote 5 seconds. Now count 5 seconds, you will find 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. Enough of time for one section to be checked. And once that is done, then you move on to the second one, don't come back to the first one. Unless there was something that you couldn't notice after the whole picture. So try doing it 5 seconds, 4 section, you are still done in 20 seconds, then recheck with your finding of the mistake part of it. Mostly the question, even if it is asked in the same or in the next page, the question will have relevance to the picture and the mistake in it. Okay, so we get on with such finding, dividing the picture with help of grid system and trying to find out mistakes or something extraordinary over there. The answer to the query here is column B. So write down the column first, then the line second. I will be giving you more example and different way of answering it. If you cannot find any grid given by the examiner, you have still ways of answering such question. Observe the given image for 30 seconds. Now here as such we have got grids, but answer cannot be written into grids because there are no columns mentioned. The nomenclature of column is not there. So what we do, again divide it into at least 4 parts. Look into the first part, column wise, quick enough. Stop here, do not go here. Having done this, oh, easy to find out. Because you had to find out this. Here it is. So if you are dividing the space, you are able to solve it in 30 seconds. But generally, this is not the way they are asking. The asking is showing one picture and then asking question about it. Like the previous one, the dog and the man going into the eyes, or cutting the things with pickaxe. Answer to the now notice the answering pattern. It should be third column, fifth row. I think even here it's mentioned fifth row, third column. No, third column, fifth row. Column is bigger than row, so it has to come first, and then, and as such you are going to study architecture, column is more important than just the rows. So put the column first and then put the row second. Okay. Here is one more kind which I find that is very, very difficult for ordinary non-practiced or for a student who hasn't practiced such riddles. Observe the given image for 30 seconds. In such pattern where you may look forward for scintillating illusions or Harman grid illusions, you should be able to observe more. Can you spot how many ovals in this picture? My goodness. The question should have been along with it. "30 seconds. Now in this, the grid need not to be visual division here. Still you can make it. But there is one more feature that you should always bring about while you are observing for 30 seconds. That's what I am going to add here. I am going to open my eyes without the specs. You try to see me and then I show you. Firstly, look at this picture and look at the answer. You were supposed to look at the middle of 2 columns to find out the ovals. Actually, now here is the key to such question. Actually, one need to half wink the eyes to spot the ovals and look for something similar to scintillating illusion or Harman grid illusion. This is half winking. Half winking will give you more interesting feature in a picture. I am bringing it back to you because I understand this was difficult. And half winking, oh, you will suddenly find as if there was a scintillating effect at the joining of the 2 rectangular columns, that there are ovals, and 5 rectangular columns, you have got 1 each oval in between them, so you got 4 ovals in one row. There are 4 rows, so 4 fours are 16. You get 16 as the answer. I am sorry, only to make you understand, I had to run the slide many a time, and to make you understand the half winking of the eyes, I had to remove my specs. You got it, but you can do it with all such pattern design. 30 seconds are otherwise not enough. Arcadian asking, sir, actually we don't get question this way in NATA. We do not know what question they will ask until the image is gone. I know that, Arcadian, and right in the beginning I showed you the questions of that kind. Coming back to the same. And I told you, you need to start observing it by dividing it. Here was the question. Here was the image. Gone after 30 seconds, and then they asked the question. What I was trying to explain to you, that how to observe such images. Here also, once the picture was shown, how to observe it, and then come back to this. Second question coming from Sumedha. Sir, I had reached out on the WhatsApp number for counseling session, but got no answer. Please let me know what has to be done to fix one. Okay, Arcadian, now you say that you have joined it only a second back, and that's where you made a comment. Fine. I think now you got the sequence that I followed. You can re-log in after this session is over and try to understand. I have tried all type of answering, and I am trying to explain you that this kind of questions may also arrive. Question I am giving along with this image, at times you have to really observe. Why I am trying to solve all kind of question, you do not know. NATA at times changes a bit. Like there used to be certain question based on only the image, only the illusions, right? So, okay. Now I will come back to Sumedha first. Sumedha, you pursue with the same number, and we may have a session on the how to take admission. I think you are asking about the admission. That we will have after your exam is over on 7th. We will have an exhaustive session, as well as for personal counseling, we will have sessions divided thereafter. Incidentally, ACPC registration has started today, but you have got time up to 25th. By then, you will also have results of third attempt of NATA. ACPC is Gujarat. That is Admission Council in Professional Courses in Gujarat. So, this is how that oval question. Now observe the given image for 30 seconds. Let us go in what Arcadian was trying to say. 30 seconds, 30 seconds. Let us take it 30 seconds. Still there is no question. The question could be, now let me change it. Which kind of animal did you spot in this picture? Now I have underlined animals. They don't underline that. Duck and rabbit. Once I say animals, there have to be two animals. I am going back to the same image. Didn't you try finding out what mistake is there in the lining? Did you try to find out something more? Why this hesitant lines all around? Why this chopped out head of a rabbit? Rabbit you were able to see, isn't it? So, if you have observed things, the way I told you, dividing the image into four parts, four visual parts, and making visual grid, I think you can do wonder with this kind of question. See, I am not talking about all kind of questions today. I am only confining to one niche area of NATA question, which has been a troublesome area for most of the students. Observe the image. 30 seconds. Now in 30 seconds, you may again divide it into four parts. Try finding out what it is there in this, what it is there, what in this section, what in this section, and what in this section. Anything unusual with the mug, with the book, with the So 30 seconds are quite good enough time if you start dividing the space into four visual sections. There are still some question asked on to which college is better. This is not a session I am taking for admission process. Still there are questions and then the answer to that are given by others also. By far you can always look into the colleges and their rank on Google and you will find it. Then look into the alumni of those colleges and then find out which could be better. Look into the year of establishment, look into their faculties, look into the infrastructure and try judging it. There are many agencies who rate it, rank it, first, second, third, and yes, you can find it out. SEPT is very popular thing. Now, Manan Parekh has been repetitively asking, SEPT is far ahead than any other college. It could be number one among the private colleges. So don't have to really. There is somebody asking about, can we get a rough paper and pen for NATA exam? Now this is one again, a question out of my today's this thing. I think somebody else will answer who has already taken up an exam. Did you take an exam earlier? So which kind of mistake in that image? The book text is written wrong way. We'll go back because we are discussing, we are still learning. You can see that the closure of the book is here opening is on this side. So it is written the other way around. What is seen straight is not straight to you. The book is kept towards you. That means the opening is on the other side. If you can get my cursor, the opening is on the other side. So the text is mentioned the other way around. It's so very simple a question, but this kind of simple images can also trouble some of you who are not keeping the cool of their mind. See, there was one couple of people who have answered. There's this gentleman, namely Love, who answered the question. Now I think answer retracted. So as far as my visual clips are concerned, I am done. I'll just attend to some of the further questions. Arcadian has answered. Keval Patel, yeah, they do give you rough paper. Now these are some of the simple questions you can ask your friends who have given the exam, and they tell you yes, rough paper, certain. You can always, that reminds me, you can always, after visually dividing an image, you can always make your notes, because you do not know what question are they going to ask. So that is where I think you can work it out. Any other query, friends? I will like to tell you one thing. I am sure you have noted down this helpline number, 888-9633-222. That's where you can always put your credential, your NATA score, your 12th score, and wait for my personal counseling sessions. Okay? I will definitely give you good advices, good suggestion, and help you selecting architecture college as per your score. Okay? Any other question? Yes. Do not forget to subscribe the channel and get more updates. I will not take you in personal counseling if you are not informed for the event. So better subscribe my channel, www.topranker.com or creativeedge.com. Okay? And you can always look forward for more updates. (3D) planners asking, how do we know what to observe? That's what I was trying to explain. Anything unequal, odd, awkward in the image, note it down in your rough copy. And do count onto such things. For example, this image which I have kept open for you. Keep some of the things counted as to how many rounds did you see here, how many flowers did you see here, how many leaves. So just note it down. 30 seconds are good enough to note it down. How many books? And then anything unusual happening, like there might be the handle missing, there might be book not kept on the table, there might be the flower vase kept on something else. So those odd things also can be made really noted down. Now there's a funny suggestion given to you by uh, here is a tip for 30-second question. You should attend this section first and try to answer the question and start peeking into other species. And your question has already vanished. Arcadian, what would you do? No, don't put your unintelligent advices. I would say, no, it's sarcastically Arcadian. Thank you for suggesting some tricky methods which are not applicable in any good examination. Trust yourself, trust your honesty, and be there. Thank you, friends. It was just for one type of question. My suggestion, do score with lot of terminology and principle of design, principle of architecture, Gestalt principles. These are few things. Revise it 2-3 times before reaching to the examination. Okay, friends, since there are not many questions, left out. I think I've solved almost all. So please follow this method and you will be on a winning side. Thank you very much for being with me. Bye bye for now and all the best for your examination.